Well, welcome back. When the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan, mentioned to Nigerians that he's going to be working something that might look like miracle on the power sector in this country, a lot of people thought, well, he's just talking. It's normal. It's expected that he will make statements, and most likely we will not see it happen in our lifetime, because so many other regimes have come and gone and said they're going to sort out
promises.
things. Promise of having a period when you can actually understand what is going on in Geregu, for example.
When you say soft landing,
as in, did you get any chance to look into that company, either shadowing what is being done,
oh, yeah, for sure,
or working with them, or analyzing their processes?
Oh yes.
As for how long? What's the period
as part
of time?
As part of the process, we've had a shadow management in there since August.
They did not take any executive decision?
No.
They just shadowed?
Just shadowing. We've had a shadow management in there since August, and very competent hands. We've been able to watch the entire process all the processes from start to end. We've been able to identify all the obstacles. By the way, Geregu is relatively new, perhaps the newest of all the plants that were sold. And the only obstacle that I think we have right now is just the gas supply.
Is what?
It's the gas supply.
Gas.
The infrastructure is relatively new. It's very new. If I'm not very new, and it's just for us to overcome the challenges of gas supply.
How much power is it generating at the moment?
It's generating about 414 megawatts. That's the installed capacity.
Okay.
Due to the 414 megawatts is the combination of 3 gas turbines. Each has a capacity of 138 megawatts. Now, because of gas supply constraints, we've not been able to generate more than, I would say, about 100 to 120.
Less than half?
Less than half, yes.
But we understand that there's a lot of gas in this country, so how come gas is the constraint that you have? That's surprising.
There's a lot of gas, but there's also a process of transporting the gas.
So what's
so that is going to be a major focus, isn't it?
Yes, getting more gas in. Getting more gas in. And I believe that if we get more gas in, we'll generate at full capacity. And what's the problem with the gas? The pipelines. There's a lot of vandalization along the pipelines. We all know what...
But vandalization more of the crude rather than the gas?
Even the gas as well.
What do they do with vandalization of gas? It's not that easy to just put it into tanks the way you do with diesel and crude.
It might be due to ignorance. I wouldn't know. Maybe some people think it's actually a crude pipeline or a crude pipelines. I wouldn't know exactly why.
Because what could an individual use gas for from a pipeline?
But you know, at times even you have vandalization for just
the sake of it.
The sake of it.
Let's talk about
and just decide to just.
Okay. The major fear of the Nigerian while all this was taking place was that they would have to pay more for electricity. Is the fear unfounded?
I don't think there's any need to fear. We've got quite a number of stakeholders in this process. We've got the electricity, the NEC, that's the Nigerian Electricity Regulation Commission, which will ensure fair play amongst all players and entities. And I don't think those reasons are, I don't think there's a need to fear right now.
Of course, this means that electricity costs will differ from one company to the other. Am I correct?
Eventually. But like I said, we also have a regulator. You know, it becomes like what we have under the subsidy regime in the downstream petroleum sector.
What do you mean?
I don't think I think the role NEC is going to play is to ensure that the prices are affordable to Nigerians. And that will be, they will pay us for whatever we generate, and they will ensure that Nigerians get the best value in terms
So,
of...
to a large extent, the generating companies, only 4 of them from what we gathered,
Yes.
and yours is one of them. You are going to be selling at wholesale price to the distribution companies.
Yes.
Okay. So you generate and you hand over to, or you transfer?
We generate and we transfer it to the national grid, and then we sell it to the bulk trader.
Okay.
And then the bulk trader is the intermediary between us and the distribution company. So the distribution companies buy from the bulk trader.
So what is going to be your set of activities to ensure that you're now over the next, and actually I would need your timeline. It will be useful for Nigerians to know your timeline to reach the installed capacity, 400 plus megawatts. If you're generating at the moment just a little over 100, which is about a third of what the installed capacity is, what's your timeline for hitting the mark?
I would say from our own analysis and studies in-house, I would say maybe between 6 to 8 months.
6 to 8 months.
Very optimistic. 6 to
Okay.
8 months. And that's why I told you initially that yes, power for Nigerians, but it's a gradual process.
It will take some time.
Yes.
So what do you expect the government to do to help to ensure that you meet that target? Are there a set of things, because we're expecting the minister here shortly, and these are the questions we want to ask. Are there certain things that you would expect the government to do to facilitate the fast tracking of the process of reaching that mark?
Yes, very simple. Very simple. There's so many stakeholders in this process, and I think the most important thing is for everybody to play their role, as stated in the bid documents and all the other documents that have been used for this process up to this stage. We have so many stakeholders. We've got ourselves, we've got the Nigerian gas company, we've got the gas aggregator, that's the gas aggregation company of Nigeria. We've got the NERC, and we also have the TCN. So we are just at a point in the chain. We're just one point. We're just one point in the chain. So as long as all the stakeholders
Do their own
NGC
bit.
ensures that the pipelines are well maintained, there are no leakages, we will generate the
Who
gas.
takes responsibility for the pipelines? Is it the government or
The NGC,
NGC?
Nigerian Gas Company.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hope you realize the amount of pressure that you all are in or under, because the Nigerian is tired of talking about NEPA. We still call it NEPA. They're at the end of their tether. So while they might be happy now, government has washed his hands off it now. It's now with private hands. But we expect to see power. So if they don't see power soon enough, you're going to be under a tremendous amount of pressure. Are you aware of that?
Very much aware, not only from even the Nigerian populace. Yes, I'm aware of that pressure, but we're even under more pressure. And we also have that pressure coming from our shareholders. If you recall, we're a public company. We're listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. And we've actually sought our shareholders' consent to go into this. And our own plan as a company is to bring the returns from power generation into the overall company basket, and as such declare or generate some kind of robust returns to our shareholders. So we're also under that pressure, and that's why I said we have to ensure that we generate efficiently, and that efficient generation can only translate to shareholder benefits for us, and also ultimately to Nigerians who have been yearning for power supply for some time.
Okay. All right. I want to say thank you very much for your time. We're most appreciative of the fact that you're able to share your experience of the processes with us, and we'll be looking forward to hear from you again in the coming weeks and months to know how it is going in terms of generation of power in Nigeria. We'll be speaking with Akin Akinfemiwa, who is the Group Chief Executive Forte Oil Plc. They own, or they are major shareholder in the Geregu generation and distribution company. Thank you very much, Akin.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you.
Well, We will take a short break now. We'll take a very quick break, and when we come back, we will bring you an interview with the Minister for Power.